Good day, everybody. Good day, good day. I'm going to do my traditional get set up while we chat. Okay, I got to drop some stuff. Let me know if my audio is good, Vishal. Mr. $1 PTDC. We're joking in the chat. There's one waiting. Yeah, we're all waiting on $1 PTDC. We got to wait for a penny first, then 10, then $1. You know, we just got to wait through the increments. Hello, Ray Doku. Audio's great. Cool. All right, I got to pull up my notes. Just a second. I hope you guys are doing great, man. I mean, it was a little bit of a shakeup yesterday, wasn't it? Man, I tell you what, makes you thankful to hold the Grays tokens because we benefit from that volatility, and we did benefit from the volatility. We love volatility. PTDC and UFO are volatility-based protocols. So when we have big shakeups like that, the bot's got to balance out the pairs. We get paid in reflections. We get our stake and rewards, and it's good. It's super good. Good morning, Hex Elvis. Let's get that moon math, fellas. We'll do that at the end, Rolando. Hey, I did want to say, everybody, for getting us on in the number one spot, the first spot on PulseFolio. It's just, we were on Spaces on Monday, and I'm sure somebody had seen it before me, but it's my first time seeing it. And I was just like, what? That happened so quickly. We are number one on PulseFolio. Look at that. Over, even refresh it. And hopefully it don't make me a liar. Good morning, all about passive income. I love your handle. We are number one, guys. Look, and CVRE needs 293 to rank up, and Sparta needs 162 to rank up to take CVRE. So, and they were my main concern. So they're like 500 below PTDC, but we still got to keep up the pressure. And then UFO needs 352 to rank up and be on that top row. And the thing of it is, like right now, hey, we can look at this together. Some of you guys might find this interesting. Let me hide this for a second and show PulseFolio. So I'm keeping record. I was not here for a few days. So like, here's the average votes, or the number of votes for every 24 hours, PTDC, and then CVRE. I mean, they're going to be left in the dust very quickly if they don't increase their votes per hour. And then Sparta, 103, UFO, 67. So if we don't increase our votes, we will be overtaken by Sparta, you know, eventually. So, but we'll just keep up the pace. We'll keep an eye on it. And, and if they start, you know, itching closer, whatever, we will just kick it into higher gear. We got more wallets. We have a lot of holders over here. And when PulseChain starts moving like it is today a little bit, you know, we'll just, like when our chat goes crazy with more buy bots, I'll be posting in there more frequently about PLS Folio, and then we'll just respond, right? Every 12 hours you can vote and vote for PTDC and UFO at plsfolio.com. It helps. And then when people land on PLS Folio, they see PTDC and UFO in their appropriate positions on that site. Because everybody should start. When you come over to PulseChain, you start with PTDC and UFO. And I'm not blowing smoke. You can literally, I hate to say should, but you can literally start with PTDC and UFO because they are an index of everything good on PulseChain. I gotta lose this sweater, so hold on, guys. Yeah. Finna test out Liberty swap from SOL to PulseChain. Or you're fitting to from. Oh, really? Let me know how it works, man. I see it there. Yeah, you guys, people can literally come over from Solana right now onto PulseChain with Liberty Swap. Liberty swap.finance, I think is what it is. So that's cool. That's cool. So if you're from Solana, say something. If you're from Solana, put a 1 in the chat. We're happy you're here. We're happy you found PulseChain, which is going into its first cycle, and it's finna run. It's going to have its run. PulseChain, by the way, is going to have a massive marketing campaign. It's all over Twitter. Okay. We're going to send, okay. I'm going to consider us as team players on PulseChain. We are sending out direct mail pieces to people's mailboxes. And that's the best, in my opinion. And I have a little bit of experience with that kind of marketing. It's effective. We're talking, you skip everybody in between. You go direct to the consumer. They get something in the mailbox that's a little lumpy, and they got to figure out what is inside. So they tear it open, and it's something that they're going to want to keep. I'm sure it's some kind of electronic device that's going to, maybe it's probably going to point them straight to PulseChain. We don't know. We're probably going to find out soon what's in those packages, but honestly, we don't know. I don't know what's in there. I do not know. But if my hunch is correct, it's going to be something that Richard Hart is not going to do a half-butt marketing campaign. It is going to be effective. Absolutely. I know you guys can see my screen in in this picture in the background, but I don't see it as a security issue. Try zooming in on that greeny image, right? We're fitting to run. Already moon time, is it, Daniel? Yeah, moon time. It actually may not be moon time, but we're getting close. But listen, with mail pieces, I've heard on Twitter that they're dropping in the mailboxes this Friday. It's a couple days from now. It might take a few weeks or days or weeks for these responders, because not everybody's going to respond to get on the chain and all that stuff. But hi SC. But assuming that there are going to be responders, they are going to come over they're going to pump the chain. They're going to get a position. Maybe they throw in $1,000 or $5,000 or $100,000. Who knows? But like I said on Spaces on Monday, my wife and I were sea-doing around this lake, huge lake up here. And these homes around these lakes are, some of them are just nice cabins, right? Some are, this country got money. It's all over. And it's not just here in the United States either. There's money all over this world. They say if you accidentally drive off the road in what was it? I'm going to get the correct country. I want to say it was China. You're going to run into half a dozen millionaires. And that's our target market, people that have money. We're not targeting the people that go below $10 on, what do you call those things? Lottery tickets every Friday after payday. Yeah, no, we're targeting people that have money and that are responsible investors. Coming Friday, that's what Oliver Moore says. I don't think we need to paint the chart before people receive the mailers. That has been a thing for me. I assume we got to paint the chart, but maybe we don't. Yeah, I thought we had to, but maybe it's happening right now. Let's have a look. Oh, you do think we need to paint the chart? Yeah. I have been so surprised in my crypto journey. I think this way and this way happens. It's always it's a guess. And when you're working with, when you're on the shirt tails of a guy like Richard Hart, He's full of surprises. I mean, who saw a mailing campaign coming? You know, and even I jumped on that bandwagon. I was like, oh yeah, that ain't gonna work. Well, he's doing it. And even with my experience, I have a little bit of experience with it. I was like, yeah, why would you do that? It's kind of an archaic method, right? Well, maybe not. I think it's going to be the best way to reach out to reach these consumers. Yeah, you kind of get a lake house to Airbnb that thing. Yeah, well, you know, there's an Airbnb bubble. You better go look at that on YouTube right now. There are too many of them. Too many. All right, let's have a look at. I'll get this pulled up. What's going on with Bitcoin? It's up 2% today. Bitcoin is up. This is a crazy looking chart. It's got all the it looks like a porcupine. You know, one of those charts? I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Look at that. This is Bitcoin USDC, but it's one I was able to find. So here it is on the daily. And let's see, it's at 112,000. It's been up to as high as 124. Yay. Ethereum is at 4,600, and it's in all-time high territory, right? Because last week, when was it? Friday? I think it was Saturday, 24th. That would have been Friday. Ooh, it almost went to, it was at 49.67, all-time high. So it's in that territory. And we know this is the time when PulseChain hacks could start running. Hacks didn't start running until Ethereum was at all-time high last time, and it quit running before it reached the new all-time high. That makes sense, in the previous cycle, 2021. So we're speculating that might happen also this time. Remains to be seen. But we definitely, in my opinion, we crossed a threshold when Ethereum went into all-time high. You know, that is now part of our history, crypto history, or moving forward into the next phase. That's how I look at it. How's Pulse doing? Let's have a look. Big hit yesterday, you know, with the Better Bank. And there's some stuff going on there. I don't know all the details, but I'm picking up intel. Maybe, just maybe, it was a test. I don't know. Don't crucify me over that. But you know, I'm open to possibilities. Like I'm one of those guys that's gonna check here and check here, and I want data points. Like, give me all the information, and then I can make a decision. And I'm in the data collecting phase on the Better Bank thing right now. I'm not making any rash decisions about what actually happened because we're still getting information, intel. Good afternoon, Browns. Good to see you. You always jump in. I appreciate you. This community has been through so much. You ain't kidding, Vishal. So much. And I know all of us are like, we're broke, we're tired, and we're like ready for the next phase of our lives. Let's just get to SAC. That will be a major hurdle, just getting to sacrifice price. It's coming, guys. So we celebrated Ethereum at an all-time high. We need to get PulseChain to sacrifice. That's going to be another, hey, you know, it's time for a ribeye steaks tonight when we're at SAC price. And another one's going to be, this is 3 opportunities to eat ribeyes, okay? Ethereum, PulseChain, and PTDC at previous all-time high. Or UFO, or both, and you can have 4 ribeye opportunities. Yeah, man. It's going to be good, guys. We just got to be patient and hodl and be safe. Handle our bags safely. Look at PulseChain. What happened? Oh, this is on daily. Not on the daily. Wow, look at that. Big knife up to half a SAC rate. That was, man, when was that? I'm going to put it on the hourly. Yeah, that was a few hours ago. I don't know how to read this clock. Yeah, it was overnight, looks like. So yay, here's the daily. Let's reset this chart. 1 second. Wow. I wonder what does this mean? What does this big knife up mean? I mean, maybe you guys can tell me in the chat when you get a chart like that. That knifes up 16%, 15%, and then comes back down. I would say that's bullish. I would call that bullish. So there's Pulse. PTDC is up 7%. Okay, let's look at this thing. And so this is going to be, we're going to talk about stuff. This is Gray's community meeting, but I'm also I'm going to steer it toward people that are new to PulseChain and new to the Gray's currencies. Maybe they hold some, or they're coming over to kick the tires and see what, this is all about. So we're going to talk about all that stuff. And if you are one of those people that's here to kick tires and maybe you hold some and you're like, what can I do with this thing? Ask me any questions in the chat and I'm happy to answer questions. Okay. Happy to. Just drop them in the chat. Any questions. And I mean that. BTC next monthly leg down can hit 50% and then 40% for October, November-ish. Next monthly leg down can hit 50%. Okay. I'm open to anything in crypto as long as we end up on where we want to go. And if we don't, I'm ready for that too. We got to be. You got to be ready for the best and the worst. And I have not yet finished my coffee. It has been a morning, so I'm going to be drinking my coffee over here. So I just have to. I will not slurp. If I do, call me out, and I will put an end to the slurping or mute something. All right, guys. How's Pete? So, on the note of every people coming over and learning about the Gray's currencies, the thing of it is that I want to teach you guys a few things about how to look at these charts, because we all hold other assets. And if you're thinking about getting a position in the Grays, then you may want to, injecting fresh capital is probably almost always the best way to get in. But if you needed to exit some other positions or a part of some other positions, here's a way that you can take a look at some positions and make that decision. And it also, what I'm about to show you illustrates why we are so excited about the Gray's currencies, which are PTDC and UFO. So let's have a look at this Dex Screener chart. You can do this on your own. Pull up Dex Screener, put in the contract address for PTGC. And what you will do when you do that and you pull up the chart, just put it on the daily. I think it comes up naturally. The Dex Screener always gives you the chart in USD. At least I'm pretty sure. Let's reset this just to be sure here. It's always going to give it to you in USD. And so let's actually put it on the weekly and have a look at this chart. It's up and to the right, guys. Can you see that? Up and to the right. All right, now let's flip the chart from USD to WPLS. So this is the chart in USD. Okay, I already said that, but this is the chart in WPLS. That means this is how many dollars it costs you for PTDC. This is how many PLS it costs you in PTDC. And that's important because when you're looking at some of these charts with other assets, they might go up and to the right in USD, but then be flat or have some other non-impressive pattern in WPLS, assuming if it's on PulseChain and such. So when you flip the chart, the PTDC and the UFO chart to WPLS, this is what you see. And this is uncommon. This is uncommon. This is on the monthly. It's up and to the right on the monthly. And it's uncommon. I have a list of tokens that I'm watching. Here's the weekly. And And a lot of these tokens they're promoted around. All tokens are promoted, right? Everybody's in it to make money. I'm all for that. And some of these tokens, I'm not going to use no names, no names, but they may be doing fine in USD, but again in WPLS they're not. And my offer on Twitter still stands. It stands. I had one recipient, one, come forward and he's like, I need the ransom or whatever he says. Here's my token. And I had one guy, but after I looked at his token, I'm like, oh, your token's disqualified. The ransom is 10 million PLS. That's like $500 right now. 10 million PLS. Bring me a token on PulseChain that has outperformed PTDC. In X's, has to pay APY, had no admin keys, 1 year or older, and has greater than $10 million in LP, $5 million of which must be burned. And it's got to be in USD and Pulse terms measured from the second week to all-time high. 10 million PLS. There's the date. And I hope this ages well. I'll be honest. I hope it ages well. But if it doesn't, I'll be the first to know about the next best token. All right, let's catch up with the chat. Hello, Adi. It's good to see you. Just joined the stream, Joel. But what's your thoughts on PTDC having any ties to PDI? It seems to be yet another cancer to PulseChain and more importantly, PTDC. Well, PDI, let's have a look. Let's have a look here. It gave us a lot of volume yesterday. PDI did, Joel. And give me a second. I want to pull up. This is where you can see, by the way, you can see all the pairs. I'm going to bring this comment down. We'll just talk about it. And we'll bring a highlighter over to PDI. But watch this. This is pTGC, all the pairs right here. I refreshed this yesterday. I bet the volume right now is less. But let's look at actually PTDC and where's PDI on here? There's DAI. Yeah, $63,000 in volume yesterday. And we earned money from all of that. But let's see what the volume is right now, just for fun. It's probably like 150. Oh, 550. Yay. That's good volume, guys. Well, I guess because things are really cooking. And then we do have some people that are still holding their PDI UFO LP. And that gave us, look, 24-hour volume was $105,000. Total volume was 337. So it's like 46% of the volume on UFO right now. So, and what's it right now? PTG, 129,000 in PDI volume. Let's see what it is over after I refreshed it. It is, where is it? 85,000. So like 10%, no, like almost like 20%, which is interesting. PDI, the PDI pairs having lots of volume. So if we didn't have those pairings with PDI, the cancer PDI, we wouldn't have that volume. So what's that going to mean for the future? What it means is that if PDI is successful, has any level, whatever, as a meme coin or whatever kind of success, that it will be a benefit to PTDC and UFO. If it dies off and fades away, then it's like, let's see, we have liquidity with PDI, like on PTDC, I want to say we're at like 5%. 5% of our LP is with PDI. We have $267,000 of liquidity with PDI, and our total liquidity is 5.6 million. So yeah, it would be a very small anchor if PDI and all that doesn't work out. Yeah, there you go. Okay, hope you caught that. That's all my opinion. Joel got, oh, there you go. I want to read this though. The amount of liquidity that is tied to PTI with PTI is very small. If PTI goes up, we win. If PTI goes down, it will not push price. Yeah, either way we win. Yep. Agreed, man. That's why we come on these streams, so we can learn a little bit of this stuff. Hey, Extra, I haven't seen you around in a minute. UFO is the biggest underrated asset on chain right now. Anything below 30 million market cap is absolute steal. Right there with you, man. So guys, go look at my post from this morning. I think you can get, dude, you can get 1 million UFO for like $28 right now. $28. But we don't need it. PTI can only bring us upside versus downside. Okay. You're welcome, Joel. Yeah, man. Keep bringing your questions. We love the questions. Oh, thank you, Cornelius. I appreciate you. Any channel is better than Prairie. Well, let's bring a better one. Somebody start a channel. And we can stream on my channel, and then you can go do your own thing. No, I really appreciate that, Cornelius. Doing what I can, man. You know what I mean? All right. So if there's anything you guys want to talk about, put it in the chat. Otherwise, we're just going to move on and educate new people on the grays. Oh, by the way, you guys know that I am working on a book about the grays currencies, both of them. I wouldn't do a book that didn't include UFO. I love UFO. Writing a book. The manuscript is done and it's been proofed and all that stuff. And but the illustrations, I'm almost done with the illustrations. Yeah, it's going to have about almost 50, maybe even more illustrations with bar graphs and charts and all this stuff. And then there are also going to be pictures. I want a picture on just about every single page. And aliens, you know, I want the book to be classy. It's not going to be inexpensive. I put a lot of time into it, and I want to it's probably going to be some kind of, I don't know. It'll be a classy book, but maybe 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. I've got to finish the illustrations, insert everything into the book. And that's a process, learning this new software. Insert it all into the book. And then I've got to get my hands on a copy so I can proof it. And then once it's proofed, edited, then I can send all you guys a link and you can go buy one if you want to. Right. And that's going to be a great way for people to also learn about the grays currencies. It's just reading the book. It's going to have everything in there, you know, way more than I'm doing in an hour and a half, 2 hours on this stream. 100 million UFO minimum can save your family's lineage. Do I think PWBTC is risky? I'm bullish on PWBTC. I think it's going to hit parity with BTC. That's what I think. I don't know a lot about all that stuff, but I'm bullish on the P copies, especially PWBTC. And one reason is I listen to, and you guys can listen to this gentleman too. Oh man. What's his name? The DJ Khaled. He's a good guy. And that's one of his core assets. I think he has 7 that he loves. And he also likes PTDC. It's just not one of his cores, but it probably should be. All right, guys. We got through that. What else? It's time for some slides. Man, when you miss a stream, like when I miss a stream because I didn't on Sunday, it kind of sets me back a little bit. But we'll get this. I've got my cheat sheet and I have my slides here. We're just going to go through it. Check out this. Okay, if you guys are new, then you haven't seen this chart before, probably. Look at the grays versus RH cores. And this is a little bit old. This is from like July. But if this does not give you a little bit of FOMO for what's perhaps coming while I sip this coffee, then I don't know. I don't know what will. Go to my Twitter, guys. Follow me on Twitter. And let me just drop a link in here. Let me just drop a link to my Twitter. I would love it if you guys would follow me on Twitter and subscribe to my YouTube. Although I'm more excited about Twitter. Guys, I'm not a YouTuber at heart. I'm really not. That's why I'm asking you guys, as somebody to step up and do the YouTube thing for the Grays. But yeah, follow me on Twitter and look at the post that I put up this morning about, man, we can go through this. Here we go. Watch this. Okay, we all know that Richard Hart's doing a massive marketing campaign, the likes of which has never been seen before in crypto. This is my post. Let's play with some numbers to estimate the impact. If 10 million mailers went out and only 2% of recipients respond with a $5,000 speculation on PulseChain, that's $1 billion in buy pressure, not factoring in sell pressure here. We're just doing the raw numbers, okay? So using the moon math at look into PTDC to simulate the impact on PLS would go to 51 cents. And here's the price predictions for the Grays currencies. You know, if PTDC does a 5x against Pulse and UFO does a 5x against Pulse, that would be the prices. Crazy, right? And that's why we've been pushing for a JIC bag. Like who was it that was in here was talking about extra Pulse X. That's why he says, 100 million minimum or whatever you can get. Because imagine if you put like UFO, 1 million tokens right now is, where is it in here? 1 million tokens is $28 for UFO. Then if that played out, that would be $1.6 million bag that cost you $28. And that's honestly, that falls under the heading of, from me, falls under the heading of it's possible. But it's less than probable, meaning it's not improbable. It's possible. It's like, but it's not improbable. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And of course, that's no sell pressure. You're not factoring any of that in, and we don't know what is going to happen, but we will after this cycle. We're going to know what's going to happen this cycle soon, we hope. And who doesn't have $28 laying around that they could speculate on a possible $1.66 million bag? I mean, there's people that buy probably more than that in lottery tickets on a Friday, and I don't do lottery tickets. I don't do slot machines. I do crypto. To me, it's a lot more, it's less speculative, but it's like there's a big difference between crypto and lotteries. All right, enough of that. Let's move on. Hello, PTGC family, community. Yeah, I don't like the family thing. I got my family. You guys got your family. We are a community, though. I love it. DH reposted this stream. Thank you, DH. Appreciate you. 4-cent UFO, very possible. NFA. Good morning, Doe Steezy. It's good to see you. You hang around a lot. There's a lot of you guys that hang around a lot. We just all hang around. All right, guys. So these are index tokens. And I didn't actually completely show you what you can do. Actually, I did. Yeah, I think we're done with that part of the stream. What I always start with, showing the chart in PLS. You can do the same thing in UFO. Flip that chart from USD to WPLS, zoom out, and be impressed. Impressions are mandatory. So these are an index token. We talked about that at the very beginning of the stream. If you come over to PulseChain from Solana or wherever you're coming from, Bitcoin, the first thing you want to do is get into an index token. I mean, that's my NFA, is you buy the index token of the chain, which is PTDC and UFO. Why? Because like we just showed on the names are escaping me. Secreto Bank. Did you see all those pairs? Let's have a look and sort them by liquidity. Look at these pairs, guys. $2.2 million LP with WPLS. Let's call that $1 million with Pulse X. $831,000 with Hex. Who doesn't think Hex is going to blow it up this cycle? $320,000 with the Tropa. $267,000 PDI, Teddy Bear, X, Most, Your Mom, Bank. You know, it goes on and on and on. And then the LPs with UFO are very similar. It's just like more consecrated LP. Oh, I was supposed to smooth my slide deck. This is going to be a train wreck, guys. We'll get through it. But I was supposed to smooth my slide deck before I stream today. I'll have to do it before Sunday because we're doing this again on Sunday. So by holding an index token, it means you hold a little piece of all the other tokens that they're bonded with. And here is an example. Here's an example. If you hold PTDC, you hold a little bit of Hex, Pulse X, Ink, PDI, Teddy Bear, Atropa, X, Your Mom, all that stuff. Because they're bonded, because PTDC and UFO are bonded with those tokens. Okay, we saw Secreto Bank. And so what you do is you come over and you hold the index token, you speculate on there, and that way when those tokens go up, they drag PTDC and UFO up, and actually PTDC and UFO is outperforming every token that they're bonded with. I haven't actually looked in detail in all of them, but the big ones, the Gray's currencies are outperforming them. Do your own research and flip the chart from USD to Hex. You know, look at the PTDC Hex pair and flip it to Hex. Do the same for Pulse X, Ink, PDI, Teddy Bear, Tropa, all of them. All of them. And you will see that the Grays are outperforming them. There are a few probably that they are not outperforming. But that should be a good little study for you. I've done it before. And probably everybody in here has done it at one time or another. And I built some slides around that thought too. Okay, so we're going to talk about the differences. We're going to get this chat item first. The one thing that I was looking at is that it is now unattainable for me and most peeps to be a shark or even a dolphin on PTDC. Yeah. I mean, a dolphin is probably $20,000 right now. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you, man, these positions, like dolphin is becoming unattainable. Squid is attainable. Because if a dolphin's 20, a squid is 2,000. And I think a squid, if everything plays out the way it could play out, and this chain goes bananas, a squid gonna be something. A squid probably gonna be something. Very likely could be something. So you got to be careful about poo-pooing these positions, right? And I jump on that bandwagon too. I like to have a good, strong position, but it's not always going to work. I mean, the people that poo-pooed Bitcoin when they couldn't get a dolphin position, you know, where are they today? You know what I'm saying? So I totally hear you. I understand, but you got to be careful about. And it's like one thing I was always advising people, not advising, but like talking to my buds. Okay, like don't worry about your position. Don't worry about the price. Don't worry about the price. All during the bear market, I'm like, accumulate tokens. Accumulate tokens. Just ignore everything else and get what you can during the bear because it's going to just mushroom during the bull run. Easier to be a dolphin and shark of UFO. Yes. Yeah. Yep. I mean, with 28, you get 1 million UFO for $28. And I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. We'll look at it during this presentation. Aiming for a squid. You go, man. You go. I hope you get it, man. Buy the dip. Not financial advice. Are we dipping? Yes, we are. We dipped. It's an opportunity for new people coming in to buy the dip. Man, we saw some huge buys come in yesterday. on UFO for sure. Like, I want to say I saw $47,000 during that microburst down. And then another one was like $35,000 on UFO. I was like, oh yeah, man, people are buying the dip. I love it. I love it. I'd like to see people, and some of them were new. It looked like to me, and I just love. I like seeing people get in the positions that they want for a little, cheaper. It's awesome. So, what are the differences between PTDC and UFO? And you guys are gonna have to put up with some of my slides being rearranged because I'm working on these illustrations for the book, right? And I've interweaved some of them into this slide deck. And then I haven't smoothed it in my notes, so it's going to be a little hokey. But this is what you get for free. What's very interesting? True, $2,000. I like interesting stuff. For $2,000 UFO, I could be a dolphin position. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. Nobody knows which one's going to do better. Like, if you put a gun to my head, which is going to do better, PTDC or UFO? I could not make a decision. It's tough. I don't know. And I know a lot about these, at least the mechanics of these tokens. So here's your indexes. Here's a visual of the index. You got PTDC and UFO that are most thickly bonded with each other. And then you have all the assets that they're bonded with. So what's the difference between, this is the correct, yes. The difference, here's a bird's eye view of the differences between PTDC and UFO. PTDC is a 5% fee based token. All the LP is burnt, most of it, okay, like 90+%. It's 23 months old now. It'll be 24 in October. 12.6% is burned, has 16,000 wallets. UFO, 6% fee on every buy, sell, and transfer. So by the way, buy it from a wallet you want to keep it on. The LP is user provided. It's been around for, I still have this slide is mixed up. It's not 23 months. Sorry, guys. It's more like 18 months. And it's not 12.6%. It's less than that. And it's less than wallets. So UFO just came out. I'm going to remove this because I'm embarrassed. This is the third time I've streamed with that slide being incorrect. I should be slapped. UFO came out like 6 months after PTDC. And it has not gotten the attention that PTDC has. But it absolutely has some very strong mechanics that could outperform PTDC. We just don't know. It has more liquidity and it has more liquidity with RH assets. And so that could be a thing. PTDC has the DAO, the decentralized autonomous organization, which can steer it. Matter of fact, I got a liquidity totals slide right here. This is a new one. There's your liquidity totals. And look at the difference in RH cores. UFO having 8 million, PTDC having 5.7 million with RH cores. And then the total, 15 million. This is from a few weeks ago. 15 million total, PTDC having 10 million. So it's got like a third more LP. Liquidity. UFO does. So will it mean anything? Will it mean anything? I think so. Let's see what this next slide is. Let's just advance the slide and get a surprise. Okay, there we go. Here's some more differences. Well, here is how the fees are broken down. Let me give a highlight on this thing right over here so I can keep track of what I'm doing here. That's how the fees are broken down. So PTDC, 5%, 2% goes to the DAO. The DAO is always going to do beneficial things with the 2%. I mean, it's a big chunk of the 5, right? So you want the DAO to do beneficial things. And it's always going to buy and burn tokens, or it's going to add LP. But of the 5%, we're also always adding LP. 0.5% is automatically added to the PTDC and PLS pair. That's the bottom part right there. 0.5% sends PTDC to the dead address. 1% goes to holders, 1% goes to stakers. That's the beauty of PTDC. You can hold it, you can stake it, and you can lock it. We're going to talk about all those three things when we get into the DApp. UFO, 3% goes to LP providers. So all of the UFO LP is not, it's not burned, it's user provided. 1% goes to holders, 1% burns UFO, and 1% burns PTDC. I've got some cool slides that I've been building that I will interweave into this presentation that highlight a lot of that stuff, like the burning. Like I've got a really cool new one that, and I'm pretty sure I sent it to you, Shaka, that shows how PTDC is burned and over like a year's time frame. And it shows you how much PTDC is burned by PTDC, how much is burned by UFO, and how much is burned by other, like the DAO, other protocols and such. And it's cool. It's really insightful to see what is burning PTDC. So that's the fee breakdown. And just bear in mind, if you buy these assets, get them from a wallet you want to keep them on. Because if you do want to transfer, you're going to pay the fee. So that bit me a few times. What I did is I just bought the tokens that I lost. And it just ended up being like a gift to the community. So it's all good, right? The community benefits, then I'm going to benefit. All right. Next one is, here we go. This slide. I was supposed to update my slides. I'm so embarrassed, guys. All right. I'm going to skip this slide because I'm mad at myself, but I'll explain it to you. In the Gray's currencies, PTDC only. One of the alien techs is that there is more coming into the system than can be extracted. And you can see that here in the fee breakdown, because 2% going to the DAO is coming into the system. 0.5% burning PTDC, that benefits the system. 0.5% making an LP pair, that's coming into the system, benefiting the system. What can be extracted is the 1% to holders and 1% to stakers. So you have a net 20% that will never leave the system, right? For PTDC, that is one of the alien techs of PTDC. UFO doesn't have that. It has other stuff. Like each of these has their own alien tech and superpower. We're going to talk about both of them. So give me a second and I'll skip past this slide. So we touched on the DAO, the decentralized autonomous organization. And it is a real DAO in the sense that the PTDC DAO, UFO doesn't have a DAO. The PTDC DAO is admin key less. It has no admin keys. If the founder were to get hit by a bus, the DAO would go on. The top 100 stakers can make proposals for what to do with DAO treasury funds. And everybody that is a staker can vote on those proposals. They're weighted by how much PTDC you have staked, and they got to pass by, I think it's 65%. So the DAO is one of the advantages it has over that PTDC has over UFO, in my opinion, because and other tokens too, though, because the DAO allows PTDC to turn on a dime. We can pivot with the market. So the DAO allows PTDC to be more like a ship on the sea versus a train on the track. I mean, trains are great unless you're in crypto, because when you encounter an obstacle, you either got to push your way through it, which risks a derail, or you got to go in reverse. But when you're a ship, you can circumnavigate, you can pivot, you can go anywhere you want. That's PTDC. We scooped up Most Token when that came out, and we got all of our money back, which is amazing. And that's we can scoop up opportunities like Most Token and other opportunities. rainy day where I am, and I'm thankful for it. It's been a hot summer. Every summer is hot. All right, Hex Elvis, what you got, man? Even with all the dips, UFO is still up 9x from a year ago. Think about that for a minute. Yeah. You got it, man. We're up 9x from August last year. We had a big run up last fall, and that's when UFO really showed some of its colors. And you can see that, well, I'll skip that. But UFO, yeah, not to be underestimated, not to be underrated, the UFO token. There are some people that I am close to, that I'm friends with, and they're very bullish on UFO. But, you know, right now it's a little bearish, right? It's like, meh. But that's when you want to buy, is when everybody is a little bearish. And it's also when you want to hodl, right? You want to hodl the toughest bags to hodl. Well, holding UFO right now might be difficult. So I'm looking for a slide. Am I missing a slide? I can't be missing a slide. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we're on track here. I think it's time to talk about rewards and volume. The weather in New York is uncharacteristically perfect today, 70s and sunny. Well, thank you for that weather update, that weather report, Brown. That's interesting. That's cool. 70s. That's nice. I think we're in the 70s too, but it's raining. What is really interesting is PTDC against WPLS. We're hitting major support. Cool. Yeah. We're still almost like 11 pulse per PTDC. We've been as high as 22.8, I want to say. And we're going higher. We're going higher, guys. Not financial advice. Hey, I was born in New York. Brown, you might find that interesting. Well-oiled machine, pure crypto. That's right, Rolando. History is going to repeat itself. UFO is going to pump into the fall or maybe sooner. Woo! I like it, Josh. I do hope you're right. Let's do another 10x, guys. Let's do it. How can we do it? Well, I don't know. I was going to say, we obviously we could buy out the chart. Like everything, this is how I look at life. Like everything within my sphere of influence is my responsibility. Oh, I want UFO to pump. I better go make some money and put it into the chain or start a YouTube channel and start promoting UFO token. Anything that I want done, it's going to have to be me. That's how I look at it. Long Island City. I didn't know there is such a thing. Long Island City. Long Island. That's probably like the full name or something. Excuse me. All right. So what we're going to talk about is rewards and volume. So the thing of it is that like we saw the volume today, which is really great. It's really good volume. They had $500,000 for PTDC. I don't even know if we reset the volume for UFO. Let's make sure we reset it. 300. Yeah, we did. It was $300,000 on UFO, and that's really good volume, right? And these currencies love volume because I got to explain this first. Because the AMM bots it forces the AMM bots to rebalance all the liquidity pairs. So you saw in Secreto Bank how many LPs we got. And whenever there's a run on Hex, for example, then all the tokens paired with Hex have got to be balanced out. And the ones that were paired, that PTDC and UFO are paired with, they have got to be balanced out also. So when you have major volatility, what do you think crypto is? Major volatility. Then you have a machine that is constantly moving. It's constantly shifting. The AMM bots are always balancing prices 24/7. And the AMM bots are forced to pay the fee, the community fee. 5% for PTDC, 6% for UFO. So all day long, the Grays currencies holders are being rewarded by AMM bots balancing pairs. It's genius. It's one of the things that got me keenly interested in the greatest currencies when I first came in was this bot. I love passive income, and these bots are paying all of us passive income 24/7, 365 days a year. And that is alien tech. That's one of the alien techs of PTDC and UFO, is that the bots, we're leveraging the bots. But here's the thing. You got to understand that as price goes up, and for a given amount of volume, let's say on PTDC $500,000 of volume. Okay, if the price goes up for that given volume, 500,000, you're going to earn fewer tokens because the bots are buying fewer tokens. This let's say it goes up 10x, then the bots are paying 10x for the tokens at that given volume. But when price comes down, we're going to earn more tokens just in the same value of tokens. So price goes up, same value, fewer tokens. Price come down, same value, fewer tokens. But when price is down, we love it when price goes down because we earn more tokens that we know are going to become more valuable in the future. If that makes sense. So when price is low, like let's say it's low today, we're just accumulating tokens, more and more tokens. And then in the future, those tokens will be worth more. And that makes us all happy. Hopefully it makes us happy. Good afternoon, John May. Good to see you again. Yeah, hit the like button and share and subscribe. All that happy YouTube good stuff. And X good stuff. It is a low day today. It's a low day. Yeah. We'll confirm that with a price check. It's like 3047. It's a low day today. But I'm confident. You're not going to see my confidence shaking. I mean, look at the chart, guys. Whenever you're feeling down in the mouth about your charts, just kind of zoom out and see what we've done. And then you can imagine where we might be going. And I imagine we might be going somewhere very special. We're like, guys, listen, PTDC and UFO are the checkmate of the Pulse Network. We have checkmated the whole chain, guys. Me too. Love passive income. Let the bots work. Yep. Yes, sir. Can't wait for a low day when it's $1. Uh-huh. Yeah. Hopefully we reach it. I do look forward to that myself. So we talked about rewards and volume. We talked about more going in than can be extracted. We talked about that. It's time to go to the DApp, guys. Yay. We're probably at an hour. Yep. So let's get the DApp pulled up. And that's PulseTGC.com. www.PulseTGC. PulseTGC.com. Make sure you use that URL. There is a new site it's under development. Should be ready sometime. These things take time. And it's going to have a lot of, what is it going to have a lot of? Metrics. A lot of metrics, which is going to be cool. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Nice. All right, got to select my wallet. We're going to go over to the staking part of PulseTGC.com. And we're going to talk about the 3 things that you can do with PTDC. Once we're done with PTDC, which takes a minute, we're going to go over to UFO and talk about what you can do with UFO, and that's a lot faster. You can do 3 things with PTDC. You can hold it, then you can stake it, and you can lock it. And they all have different things that you need to be aware of before you just haul off and do them. The staking being the least. Well, the holding being the least. But if you hold the tokens, you have no choice but to earn reflections. If you decide to stake, that is another step. But it's like at this point in the cycle, no harm, no foul, in my opinion. But there's Rolando. I knew that was coming. Should have expected that. You're very funny, man. Rolando is locked until 2029 and beyond. just following the chart for fun right now. You crack me up, dude. You're a good sport. Rolando is big on locking, and I am too. But don't let me talk you into it. Just hear what we have to say and make your own decision. This is not financial advice, but that's some good stuff here, guys. Hold up, and we'll get into UFO. Okay, let's share my screen, pulsetgc.com. And if you need to know how to buy the tokens, we can do that when we're done too. I can walk you guys through some of that. Here is the main site, and you will click on staking, and that's where you're going to see what is in your wallet. What is in your wallet? You're going to see right here. See, connect your wallet up. This is a safe site to interact with. I've used it many, many times. There's another one, which is look into pTDC.com. That's another dApp. I think it's the only other one. You can connect direct to the blockchain. I have never done that. But if the sites go down, there's always a way to get around actually going through a site. But you will scroll down here. I'm going to skip a lot of this stuff up here. This is a wallet that is an experimental wallet that I have 1 million PTDC in, and it's staked and it's locked. Okay, for 10 years. I did a 10-year lock, and we're going to talk about all of this stuff, guys. So this is the amount of PTDC that this wallet has earned from staking since February 10th when I reset. I reset it on February 10th. I claimed the yield. Okay. So when you hold PTDC, you earn reflections that go straight into your wallet, and they start earning reflections. When you stake PTDC, you earn staking rewards, which are in the contract that you need to claim. And then they go to your wallet and they start earning reflections. Same thing for locking. If you lock PTDC, this is how much I've earned for locking. In total, I think this year. And those are in the contract. I can claim them. They'll go into my wallet, start earning reflections. But before you stake, you need to understand that there is a withdrawal fee of 1% on your principal that goes to all the other stakers when you end the stake. The good news is there's several good news about PTDC staking. One, your yield is liquid. You can claim it at any time. 2, there's no time commitment on the stakes. And 3, what's number 3? You can withdraw a portion of your stake if you want to. Okay, my tokens are locked, so I can't withdraw any to demonstrate to you. But 1% fee goes to all the other stakers if you withdraw any part of your stake. There's no time commitment. You can claim your rewards at any time. I mean, does it get any better than that? Did I miss anything, guys? Did I miss anything about the staking? If you want to lock, that's another mechanism but it's a much more, it's a bigger commitment than versus just staking. Like, we estimate the ROI time in a sideways market to be about 100 to 200 days. This is me. Okay. I shouldn't say we. I estimate it to be about 100 to 200 days to ROI on your staking rewards. I stake all of my tokens because I want every single reward token that I can get. I mean, hey, if they go to $1 or $50, I will want to have earned as many as possible. So, and I don't have any issue at this point in the cycle. I mean, if it takes 100 days to 200, 200 days would be, let's call that 7 months. You could be pushing it, but you ROI pretty quickly as price goes up and as volume increases, right? As those two metrics go up, you're going to ROI more quickly. And we haven't seen any price. I think we're going to see a lot more price increase, and I think we're going to see a lot more volume. So we should ROI more quickly on our 1% staking penalty withdrawal penalty. Okay. So I think that's about it for, let me check this and make sure you guys don't have any insight. You're feeling excited. Okay. Let's read some, we got to read the chat. Can you just think if it does them stupid numbers that seem crazy, but actually very possible. Yeah. It doesn't seem real, but I think soon it's going to be a reality, God willing. Yeah. If God is willing, it all hinges on him. So yeah. You're excited too? Fitting to add to your PTDC fund bag? Add to your fund bag. There you go. It stays in your wallet, unlike Hex. Thank you. Yes. When you stake PTDC, it stays in your wallet. So you're gonna see it there in your wallet, and you'll be like, hey, I thought I staked this, or you'll be like, hey, I'm trying to sell this. I forgot that I staked it, and I'm trying to sell it or remove it, but the tokens are staked. Thank you for saying something, John. Appreciate that. Have we been getting any early unlockers lately? Yes. That's a good question. And I will, in a few days, I'll be getting all the data from the month of August. And then we'll know 28, 29, 30. I guess I'll do that Saturday. That's going to be fun. I love getting the monthly data. And then Zen and I will stream about it next week. We'll talk about what happened in the month of August. And part of that is how many people unlocked. So yeah, thanks for asking about that. So we covered staking. Pretty simple. I stake all my stuff. You don't need to, though. Stakers earn. Here's another point. Stakers earn about 161% from from the history that we've been tracking. 161% more than just holders. Okay. And you can see that. You can see that right here. And you can fact check me. It might be different. This is what this wallet has earned from holding. 21,000, earned from staking 26,000. Well, right there, you can see there's a difference. I don't know. I'd have to, but I think this needs to be added to this right here. I'm pretty sure. So, but the holding is always increasing. But the staking, I'm pretty sure needs to be added, and then the locking also. Yeah, I'm sure that's how it works, guys. Okay, so let's go into locking. You gotta, if you were to lock, again, don't do it until you finish listening to what I'm about to say, because huge commitment. It's a time commitment, and you risk 30% of your bag if you were to end your lock early. You can end your locks early, but it's a 30% penalty on your principal. Big penalty, right? So cautionary statement there. Don't do it before you've thought it through. Slept on it a night or two at least. I slept on it for 6 months before I finally figured out what I wanted to do. And, have a conversation with your spouse, that sort of thing. Don't do it haphazardly. That's my advice. You get all excited, and then you're just make yourself a little sticky note, stick it on your computer. Hey, revisit this locking thing. Give your mind some time to figure out what you want to do. That's my non-financial advice on locking. So you got to be staked in order to be locked. So this 1 million tokens that is locked here, I had to stake it first. The rewards sit in the contract until you claim them. You can claim them anytime. This is the unlock button. If you unlock early, you pay 30% of the principal, which goes to all the other lockers. It doesn't go to a developer wallet. And by the way, guys, none of this stuff is set up to where the developer, the founder, gets any tokens. There's nothing like that in this system at all. No shenanigans, fair launched, all that happy good stuff. Here's the locking tiers. You can lock anywhere from 90 days out to 10 years. What I did personally is initially I locked everything in 90 days. No harm, no foul. I keep 55% whenever I claim. Okay, so I'll put that back up. But these tokens right here, this 4,214 tokens is sitting in the contract. When I claim them, if I were in a 90-day lock, I keep 55%. 45% goes to the dead address. 10-year locks, 100% goes to me. And then there's all your brackets in between. Okay. So minimum 90 days, maximum of 10 years. You can lock 1 day into the next tier and you will earn from that tier. So just be aware of that. Meaning it's not like a beware, but be cognizant that, hey, if I'm going big, if I'm going long, I can lock for 3,650 days, or I can lock for 9 times 365, maybe add 7 just to be safe. And then I'll have access to those tokens after 9 years, not 10 years. Okay. That's some pretty cool alpha right there. I wish I'd known that when I was making 10-year locks, but it is what it is. Seems like there's more about locking. Hopefully it comes to me, but there are some things that we need to talk about, which is there are some key differences between holding, staking, and locking. Holding and staking is like you're going to earn day in and day out. You know, the contract's always executing on transactions, rewarding holders and stakers, but it's not always executing on unlocks, because unlocks is completely human dependent. So we're depending on Rolando. Is it Rolando? I'm confused now. I think it's Rolando. It's always, yeah, Rolando. We need Rolando to unlock some tokens so we all can benefit. Don't do that. Do not take me serious. I'm only kidding. But we need people to unlock in order to get paid as a locker. Like I'm a locker and I don't get paid if nobody unlocks. But I know human behavior, especially in crypto, I've seen it. People are fickle, they're unpredictable, and they're erratic. So I know that people, and we've seen it. We've seen a lot of people nuke their bags during this bear market. As a matter of fact, we've got some very interesting data on how much has been unlocked, in the last year. And it's like about 400 million tokens in any 30-day period has been unlocked. I got a little coffee left. I'm going to save it for later. So I'm bullish on locking because, as we're going to see in the calculator at the end of this, hey, you guys like it's a little worn out, but you see that? My alien sticker on my coffee mug. I need to get a new one. Big differences. So we're depending on other lockers to end their locks early. And here's the thing, guys. Here is the thing. The holding rewards, which are reflections, and the staking rewards are paid to you out of transactions today, which are based on the price of PTDC today. The locking rewards, however, are not based on the price of PTDC today. They're based on the price of PTDC whenever somebody bought their tokens. So let me state that another way. The contract doesn't discriminate how many dollars it's sending to you as a locker in penalty rewards, in penalties from other early end lockers. So let's say somebody has 100 million tokens locked up and they're like, I got to have those tokens. They end their lock early, so they're going to nuke 30 million tokens. Let's say those tokens are worth $1 and you have 1% of the pool. You hold 1% of all the locking pools, the whole pool. So you would earn 1% of that 30 million tokens, which would be 300,000 tokens. If they're worth $1, $300,000. Okay, do you follow that? Locking is the pTGC superpower. UFO has 2 superpowers. I'm pretty sure we have a slide on this. Well, I know I have a slide. Are we going to encounter it? That's the question. I think we will. Yeah, here it is, guys. Let's cover it right now. Actually, after I finish my comments. So locking is a superpower for PTDC, but it doesn't mean you need to jump in and go do it. Think about it. No rush, man. No rush. I mean, that we don't even get locking rewards every single day. So sometimes there's a big day. Sometimes there's a little, like a fraction of a day. And some days there's nothing really. But if you're thinking about locking, just take your time. Just chill. No harm, no foul. Because you can always lock your tokens once they're staked. You know, as price goes up, you can jump in and lock them for whatever fits your whatever suits you, you know. 39 Joshua Hernandez. I don't think I've seen you before. I have an interesting question, but it probably won't be easy to answer. I want to hear your question. I want to take a shot at it. I may not know the answer. But if I don't, I would like to take a shot at it. And if I don't know the answer, then we can just engage in a PM and I will get you an answer. But please shoot. Here's the superpowers and alien tech. Watch this. PTDC on the left. It's alien tech, obviously, is the AMM bots. More going in than can be extracted, and its superpower is the locking. UFO, it's alien tech, AMM bots. But its superpower is that its thickest LP is with PTDC, and its shares and the share rates, which are user centric. Okay, there you go, guys. They each have at least one superpower and one alien tech, each of them. So it's pretty cool that worked out. And because UFO burns a lot of PTDC, that's bullish for PTDC. Because PTDC has a DAO, that's bullish for PTDC. What else? Like I said, if I held a gun to my head, I would not know which one is going to do better in the bull market. Okay, we talked about the locking tiers. Oh, here's another thing about locking, and I'll get to your question, Hernandez. Is I would not do a big, huge 10-year lock. You know, some people do that. It depends on your risk tolerance and how much you want to delay your gratification, because that is a thing too. But, you know, I would personally, what I've done is I broke it up into smaller locks. So if I decide that I want to nuke a bag, then I pay 30% on a smaller bag versus a bigger bag. Okay, we did that. Yay, man. We're about to roll into UFO. If there's any questions on PTDC, drop it in. We're going to get to this. All right, a question. Do you think it makes more sense to just lock for the minimum time frame so you can already quickly reach the point of being able to unlock with no, I'm going to have to read this again, with no penalties, and then choose to keep them locked? Okay, read it again, because I'm Gen X. I need some time. Does it make more sense to just lock for the minimum time frame, like 90 days, so you can already quickly reach the point of being able to unlock with no penalties, and then choose to keep them locked, versus going with a longer lock? You know, that's the thing. I think, in my opinion, it's, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that even at this point in the cycle, I don't think we may not run until December, January, February, March. And you're talking September, October, November, December. If you locked 90 days right now, it would be mature by December. You know, so, and like I said, Hernandez, Joshua, I locked all of mine up for 90-day locks, and I was earning 55%, which is less than 100%. I get that, but it's still 55%. And then once they were mature, I had figured out what I wanted to do, and I just repositioned them. And I'll tell you guys what I did. I went 88% 10-year locks, maybe a little more aggressive than suits many people's comfort zone. And then at 8% in a ladder. So I locked, this is what I did every year. I've got a ladder. So I've got a lock maturing at the end of December. And then the rest was a 90-day lock, which, to your point, like matured back in April, because I made it in December. So I've got some 90-day locks that are sitting there mature, and I'm just leaving them. I hope that answers your question. I hope, and if it doesn't, please let me know. And some days it's payday. That's right. When it comes to unlocking, some days it's just, man, somebody nuked a big one. We did have a huge a season where there was a lot of unlocking, and that was back in like March, April, and it seems to me like it like all the a lot of the weak hands left during that season, and there hasn't been a lot of unlocks lately. But man, you know what? Let me share my screen. Hold on, guys. Let me get this pulled up because we're talking about locking. You guys are you seem like you're interested in this. So let's see. Hold up. Locking. All right, check this out, guys. Hold up. I'm going to share my screen. And we'll get back to the chat too, because you guys got questions and comments. All right, so this is July. We're working through August right now. Let's see. How much was unlocked? 213 million. But in June, it was 172 million. May, 193. Look at that big April and even bigger March. 669 million unlocked in March. But the average of those months is 345,000. The average for last year was million. The last year was 395 million to be technical. And this is your unlock yield per 100 million. And I want, I'm going to insert actually, I was thinking about this last night as I was going to sleep. Value of unlocked. I'm going to add this tokens because we're going to see the value go up. We're going to take the number of tokens and multiply it times the price. And the value is going to increase over time. That's going to be cool. So I'm going to build that in there. And so there you go, guys. 213 million last month. I bet it's more because look, it's kind of trending up, sorta, but it'll be in the 200 million range. I bet for the month of August. We'll find out. And some days it's payday. That's correct. 39 Joshua. That's what I've done. Cool. Thank you for input in there. Thank you for reposting, James T. White. iMaster, can you create a token that is distributed to holders of PTDC and UFO that buys and burns and contributes to the contract and rewards them with a new token? I suppose you could. I'm not positive. Jump onto our spaces. We'll have spaces Saturday and ask that question of the founder, or you can also jump into the Telegram voice chat. I think we're gonna have a video. I think we're gonna stream on Friday. Voice chat's gonna be tomorrow at 8 a.m. in Telegram. Smash that like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, okay. Thank you, John May. What is Grays? Oh, good question. The Grays. It's the aliens. What is the Grays a reference to? It's the aliens. So the Grays currencies are started with like PTDC. The logo is an alien, and then UFO is a UFO, and together they're called the Grays currencies. So yeah, there you go. Hey Polygon, it's good to see you. Yeah, in Polygon, he's got the little alien in his logo. You see the Grays aliens. All right, where are we, guys? I know we're past that. Oh, we got to get to, we're going through UFO. Right, watch this. We went through the superpowers. All right, we're going to the DApp, and then I'm going to show you a little simulation that I did. UFO DApp, PulseTGC.com. So for UFO, it's a separate token. The PTDC and UFO are kind of brothers. Separate token, same Telegram, same founder. What else am I going to say? Oh, same DApp, same decentralized application. You need to get an alien in your pick too? You can do that. All right. PulseTGC.com. Same DApp. I'll show you guys step by step. Oh, before we do that, you can do two things with UFO. You can hold it and you can LP it. Remember, all the LP with UFO is user provided. What else? Oh, a stretch. If you LP your tokens, your UFO tokens, you will not earn reflections. So there is an advantage to the holders in that they're earning more reflections. We thought it was a 5x, but it's less than that now. It was like a 5x on the one very month that we happened to notice. It was a 5x, and all the other months it was like 3, 2 something. But we've been touting it was a 5x, but it's really not. It was just that one time. But in process of building these slides for the book, I discovered that. So you are going to earn more APY from holding PTDC, but it's not a 5x, but you're going to earn more. So there you go. You got to do your own research. And I will put the slide in this deck to show us all of that. It's like a line graph, and you can see how the APY has fluctuated from month to month, holding versus LPing. But that's the two things you can do with UFO: hold it and then LP it. And the LPing is a superpower that we're going to get into here in just a minute. PTDC has the locking superpower. UFO has the LPing superpower. So, but just stand by. We're going to do a quick walkthrough, and you guys will understand hopefully by the time we're done. So same DApp, just scoot over to the UFO token tab, click on it. If you wanted to LP, so holding is simple. You just keep them in your wallet, and you can see all your rewards on this tab. But if you wanted to LP, you would select UFO liquidity pools, and you can select from 7 different pairs that you can LP with. I am going to explain to you some details about these 7 different pairs. 1, UFO and PTDC pair. I do not recommend LPing that because you're going to pay 5% PTDC, 6% UFO to enter an LP, going in and coming out. I do not do that. I do not. I let other people do that. The UFO PLS pair, you will pay the 6% fee on UFO when you exit that pair. It doesn't matter what pair you LP with for the rewards. You do need to LP on this DApp in order to receive rewards, but it doesn't matter which one you pair with. They all earn the same rewards. Okay. And the way that you do it is, let's say you wanted to LP your PLS with some UFO. You select manage pool, add liquidity, and you'll have to have equal portions of each. And then you select add new liquidity, sign it in your wallet. Then what you would probably want to do is go back to, because I want to see the LP, go back to UFO token, select UFO PLP rewards, and you can see the LP. All right, so you'll see the LP right down here. Now, let's go back to up here in the upper left corner. You can see the reflections earned by this 1 million UFO that's been sitting in this wallet since launch month of May 2024. And here is the rewards for LPing. Rewards are in PLS again since May 2024. So you can claim, the rewards for holding are in UFO, and those go straight to your wallet. And they, just like with PTDC, the reflections show up in kind of a spooky alien tech way, and then they immediately start earning reflections. So that's how the reflections work. But the pulse rewards for LP and your UFO are sitting in the contract until you claim them. When you claim them, then they'll go to your wallet and you'll have pulse in your wallet. So I have literally not bought any pulse since I've been LPing UFO. It's been wonderful. I used to always spend all my pulse, so I was always having to buy more pulse. But I don't do that anymore. I LP UFO, and I make pulse rewards. It's pretty sweet. Now, let's get into the superpower of UFO. Now, you are gonna suffer impermanent loss. Everybody that has LP'd UFO has had a level of impermanent loss because the market has valued UFO more than Hex, EHEX, Inc., Pulse, PulseX, and PTI. It has. So anybody that's joined those that's made those pairs has less UFO than what they started with. But there is something called a UFO share that is a hedge. It's like a hedge against the impermanent loss. The UFO share and the UFO share is what determines your pulse rewards. Okay. And the UFO share rate does not change. The UFO share is determined by how much UFO you put into the pool. I put 1 million UFO into this pool and an equal value of pulse. So I have, 1 million UFO gave me a million UFO shares. The UFO shares do not change. They determine my rewards. They determine my position in the pool. And let's show that to you here in just 1 second. Here is the UFO shares. 1 million. A little more, but mostly just 1 million. UFO shares. They will never change. They're based on the amount of UFO I put into that pool. Now, there is less than 1 million UFO in that pool right now. There's a lot less, like 70% less or whatever it is, however you put it. There's less. I can show you that on PulseX, on the PulseX V2. But we're not going to do that. There's more about UFO shares. Oh, one thing I want to say. There's two things. They escape my mind. If there is a chance that the paired asset runs up against UFO. If that happens and you end up with more UFO in your wallet, more than 1 million, for example, you could literally unpair and repair and earn more UFO and have more UFO shares for the price of unpairing and repairing that LP. But if you unpair with less UFO and decided to repair, then you would get less of a UFO share. So a lot of the people that initially and still even today, I think UFO shares are a bargain right now with UFO, only up 10x and Pulse being well below SAC. I mean, for, I don't know, $1,000, for example, you could buy a bag of Pulse and a bag of UFO and make, I don't know how many UFO shares. It's just whatever UFO you could buy for $500, which would probably be several million, like maybe 25 million or something like that. You could have 25 million shares that would be earning you, which would hold your position in that UFO share pool. And then as people come and go into the system and nuke their own share rates and yada, price goes up and yada, yada, that UFO share is going to become more valuable. Like the one that I made, this very one that I made in May of 2024. Check this out. Here's an illustration that I did to demonstrate. That demonstrates the value of the UFO shares. So let's say I had too much pizza one night and I'm like, I'm done with this one. I'm gonna nuke this UFO share. Well, and I did apples to apples and I ran the numbers up to 1 billion. So I 1,000x'd it instead of 1 million, just to make it sound good. So let's say you have 1 billion shares and the current value in UFO is 261 million. So I input 1 billion UFO and now there's 261 million UFO in this pair. Well, I unpaired it. And I've got 261 million UFO sitting in my wallet in an equal amount. I didn't lose any money, It didn't lose any money. It actually made money. However, there's only a 261 million UFO in my wallet now. I started with $1 billion. Well, if I wanted to get my 1 billion shares back, I would have to buy 739 million UFO, which would cost me $29,000, and then an equal amount, $29,000 in Pulse. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's see. I've edited this slide a little bit since since this one. So basically each share is now worth 3 times the token price. And what this slide does is it illustrates the value of the UFO shares from last year to today, a few weeks ago. And it just shows us that the UFO shares have increased in value. What's going to look like in, like 6 months? What's it going to look like? It's probably going to be much more dramatic. It could be way more dramatic, right? And many of the people that made their UFO LPs at the beginning, they're going to be they are incentivized to hodl those LP positions, helping the price, adding stability to the ecosystem. I'm one of those guys. I'm like, I may never exit my LP positions. Listen, I'm earning Pulse every single day based on trading volume. And I've lost a lot of UFO. But you know what a lot of us did too is we LP'd some and we kept some liquid. That's a wise way to go. Especially since the guys that are holding liquid are earning more APY. It's just how it is. Yeah, if you did, and if you do enter the PTDC UFO LP, it's okay. There's a lot of smart people that just didn't even know, and or they did know, and they'll just keep that position forever and ever and ever. You like it when I do the research for you? Very funny, John May. You're not going to exit your. Oh, just don't ever exit. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. All right, what else is there? Oh, you can claim your rewards all at the same time. It's pretty cool by just selecting this button right here. Okay, I think that's it. For the UFO shares and UFO. Now let me get. It's slide time, guys. Slide time. We're going to run through some slides and we'll do some moon math, okay? Watch this. Sound like a redneck? Okay, we did that. Actually, we're supposed to do moon math right now. Let me do moon math. And then you guys can drop off if you need to, because the moon math's kind of fun. All right, shall we do it, Pampy? I want you guys to give me... UFO is a freaking mega gem. Yeah, and the thing of it is, John, like PTDC gets all the attention. It gets the limelight. It's all we talk about. Because UFO is it's just so simple. You hold it or you LP. We do talk about it from time to time, but not like we do PTDC. And we're also, UFO is the new kid on the block since May of last year, but it has less moving parts, in my opinion. It's just easier to talk about PTDC. But yeah, I am open to the narrative being flipped and us talking about UFO more than PTDC. But, last winter, when UFO was running, it got attention, but it still didn't get as much attention as PTDC. But it's okay. It doesn't need attention for a number to go up. I don't think so. But yeah, like even when I post on X, oftentimes I try to keep my hashtags to a minimum. So I'll do a hashtag PTDC and nothing for UFO. And I have about equal bags of both, by the way. But the way I look at it, I want my tweets to get published everywhere. And then if people come into PTDC they're going to learn about UFO. So enough of that. Let's get into the moon math. I got to log in. Okay, we're going to do 3 moon maths. 3. We're going to do a just a standard moon math price. And then we're going to do a reflections calculator for PTDC and UFO that simulates how much you could earn in reflections based on volume. Then we're going to look at the locking calculator, which is my favorite. So stand by for that. If you're not unlocking, I know you won't, dude. Yeah, we're gonna pop. I like that comment, dude, and I agree with you, man. UFO is a monster. Okay, moon maths. What could, so give me an idea. What do you guys think Pulse can do this cycle at the top? Because we'll use that number. And then we got to talk about the X factor. Hold on. So while you guys are giving me a number of what you think PulseChain can do, the X factor is it's another way to say reflexivity. Like when Pulse goes up, PTDC goes up, and that's the reflexivity. But sometimes an asset like Hex, for example, will do 1000x on top of Ethereum's 10x, so it ends up being a 10,000x. True story. Another true story. PTDC is up 30x against PulseChain or thereabouts in the last year. UFO is also a number of x's, maybe 10 x's up against PulseChain in the last year or so. So what you do, and you guys can do this at home, is you take whatever you think PTDC can do against the L1 in the last year, 30x. We usually modify it, make it like maybe a 10x just to be modest. So you take that 10, multiply that times whatever you price you think that the x's excuse me, you think the layer 1 could do. So let's say it's 100. So you take 10 times 100, which is 1,000, and multiply that 1,000 times the price, the current price. Okay, and that's going to be your final price for your estimate. Okay, if those two things happened, that would be the result. This calculator I'm about to show you guys does it all for you. You got to get yourself more UFO ASAP. Do it ASAP. Man, I want to meet you guys so bad. 100x. Oh, we got an answer. Yes. Crypto Jack, thank you for throwing that in there, man. I like a good 100x too. I'm going to tell you though, man, before all this postcard stuff, that was my standard go-to number, but I have modified it since. Well, 100x is good. As you will see, we are going to throw in 15x for the multiplier though. So hold up. We're going to pit. We're going to see what the effect on PTDC will be for an X. What did I say? 15. Let's do a 15x multiplier on PTDC, and then Pulse 100x. What's that mean? That's going to be a 1500x, and that you're being conservative. Yeah, but it's almost necessary because as you guys are about to see, the result of this 1500 times 1500 times the current price, it's going to be like, I don't know what it is. You guys probably already know. You guys probably doing it on the calculator. I'm not going to guess. So we're just going to calculate and go to it. Watch, guys. A 1500x PTDC is $1. It's a $1.07 PTDC. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Yeah, it's got to be more than that. All right. What happens is if I click off, then it like resets the page or something. 70 cents. There's your 1500. It's a 70 cent PTDC. Okay, from today's price. And we could do other crazy things like you could say the postcards. That ended up being a number of X's, like 100,000 X's on PulseChain. If $1 billion in buy pressure came in, 10,000, something like that. Anyhow, 50 cents. So we can do that. Watch. It ended up being like if 2% of the responses on, 10 million postcards, if it's that many or whatever, that'd be a 50 cent PLS with an X factor of 15x. That'd be an $80 piece. So there's your spectrum. But what if PTDC only does a 2x and PulseChain does a 50x? That's going to be 100x, 5 cents, 5 cent PTDC. Okay, there you go. There you go, Rolando. With a machine never stopping, I'm curious what PTDC will be at in 2029. Yeah, man. Guys, I'm going to say it right now, man. Like, if we're in the moon math section, so we can talk like this. Not that we already haven't, but what was it in my head? If there will be, if any of this pans out and to any certain level, there will be billionaires out of the Gray's currencies. And I mean, like, if PTDC went to 50, we just saw it, dollars, have a hard time breathing that. Anybody with 20 million would be a billionaire with 20 million tokens. A JIC bag, a just in case bag that we've been pushing a little bit would be, what would a JIC bag be? 50? Not 50 million. It'd be a lot. A JIC or just 1 million tokens would be worth, I think 1 million tokens would be worth 50 million at that point. It's crazy the possibilities. But I like it a whole lot better than a stinking lottery ticket. Well, it was $1 last time we did this, but PTDC was up a whole lot more than now. Yeah, I know the numbers change. I noticed that too. When the price goes up, of course, you're starting at a higher price for your prediction. That's just how it works. $10 being modest in 2029. Yeah. Yeah. Craziness, guys. If you're new, just put up with the craziness. Hope you'll be patient. All right. Let's get some more moon maths going here. So that was the crazy moon math. Now let's do some reflections. And we're getting a little crazy here too, because we're going to just leave it at $10 million in volume. We've seen $2 million in PTDC, and I think 1 million UFO or vice versa. But the chain hasn't started running yet. So we could see $10 million consistently day after day. I hope we do. We could see more. We're just going to throw in $10 million we're going to speculate on it. We're here to speculate. Reflections. PTDC, let's say you have 10 million tokens. 10 million tokens, which is, I don't know how much that is right now. That's not very much. Let's do 100 million. 100 million tokens. Experimental mode. $10 million in volume. Your APY would be 26%. $33 a day. $72,000 in tokens every single day. And let's look at UFO. UFO, we're not going to do 100. Let's see. We're going to do a 10x on 10x. So that'd be, it looks like that's a billion. Yeah, it's a billion tokens. Billion tokens for billion UFO tokens. $10 million in volume. That'd be 142% APY or $107 per day. Okay. There you go. We're going to click on, we're going over to the locking calculator, and this is the superpower. John May, lighten up my chat. You remind me of myself on other people's streams. I have got to chat on other people's streams. It's so crazy. It doesn't seem possible, but it is very possible. And no, yeah, you're right. It's not a joke. Lottery tickets to me are a joke. This is not a joke. It's called Hart's Law. What a concept. Said in memory of Coach. Where is Coach, by the way? Coach, are you watching? Jump in and say hi. Okay. Now, remember, the lock-in rewards are based on dependent on people unlocking. And the contract doesn't care how many dollars it's sending to your wallet. It's sending you a certain number of tokens based on your position of all the locked tokens. Okay. And depending on your tier, your tier determines how much you get to keep. 90-day tier, you keep 55%. The other 45% goes to the burn address. So when you claim your tokens in the 90-day tier, you are effectively giving yourself a raise because you're burning tokens, and you're benevolently giving everybody else a raise because you're burning tokens. So any tier below a 9-year 1 day is a benevolent tier because you burn the supply. And we love to see the supply get burnt because we all get a raise. All right, let's get into the locking calculator. It's a calculator. Full degen. I don't think I've seen you before. I joined late, but what's your price prediction for PTDC? A realistic prediction. Prediction. Okay. Okay. Let's do it this way. If Pulse does 100x, and PTDC has done a 30x against PulseChain the last year, and let's say PTDC can just do a 10x, when Pulse does 100x, that's 1,000x for PTDC. Multiply that times today's price, 1,000x. And I think it ends up being, we just looked at it, close to $1, but 1,000 or somewhere in there, 1,000x. That's if you think PulseChain is doing 100x, which I don't believe it's doing 100x. I think it's doing more. There you go, full degen. I like your name, man. It's a funny one. I hope that answers your questions. Hey, Banana, caught you live. You did, Charles. Wasn't that fun on Monday night? That was a hoot, man. Love that Pluto Moon Mat last time. Yeah, $1. Yeah, you know. That'd be amazing. I want more. We don't need it, though. That's the crazy thing. Guys, a JIC bag at $1. A just in case bag is $1 million. $1 million. Just be careful not to kill the golden goose. That's the big thing. More. We're all here for more. All right. Locking calculator. 395 million tokens unlocked has been the average. It was the average for last year. Let's put in the current average, except I don't know that I can find that real quick. Yeah, we can do it. Let's put in the current average from January to July. 345 million. Okay, we're going to be honest. We should always be honest. 345 million. So we're going to neck that down a little bit. And there's actually 132 billion locked or thereabouts. Let's say you have 100 million locked, guys. 100 million PTDC locked. Simulated price. What do we got? Simulated price. Let's do $1. I like $1. I think we're going there. And let's say you're in 10-year locks. 100%. So you're going to keep 100% of all your lock-in rewards. You know that's going to be 78,182 tokens. Well, guess what? They're all worth $1 now because we just injected that into the simulator. So you know you're going to earn $78,181 in this 30-day period because that's what this simulator simulates is a 30-day period. So imagine earning $78,000 in penalties in a 30-day period. Lock-in rewards. What if it goes to $2? What if PTDC goes to $2 and all of those tokens you earned? What about all the tokens you're earning right now in reflections and staking and lock-in rewards. Imagine they go to a value of $2. Well, in lock-in rewards, 78,000 tokens. You may not be earning that in reflections and staking rewards in a day. It's a good chance you're not. But at $2, that would be $156,000 in a 30-day period. That's just how it works, guys. That's how it would work. You're not financial advice. Anything can happen. A lot more lockers could pile in and pollute the pool. I'm just kidding. But the way I look at it, the more people that come in and lock, the more likely we're going to have unlockers, right? Consistently. And honestly, I think next cycle, the unlocks are going to be more consistent. They're very sporadic right now. We go days without anything. But they're going to become more consistent, I believe, in the next cycle. And here's another thing about locking. As number goes up, I do believe, I didn't used to necessarily believe this, but I do believe that there will be a lot of unlockers this cycle. I think the lockers are going to the ones that hold are going to absolutely crush it, because people want access to their tokens. We've been waiting. Even PTDC people have been waiting for 2 years. You can't tell me that at the top of this cycle, when their bags are worth who knows what, that they're not going to be tempted. Yours truly is going to be tempted to unlock. But here's the thing, guys. PTGC and UFO are the golden goose of crypto. We are the checkmate of PulseChain. Got to be careful, because you're the golden goose. You got to be careful and not kill the golden goose, because the golden goose lays eggs. Got to make your life work around the eggs and not kill. If you kill the goose, no more eggs. Okay. And here's something else I wanted to explain to you guys is that, let's say you have this principal amount and it looks like this today. And then you've got the circulating supply. Maybe we can use this. This is your circulating supply within this square, right? And here is your bag here's your principal bag. I wish I could do this. All right. Now this is gonna shrink. It's gonna reduce. As that reduces, you're effectively becoming larger within this frame. So as the circulating supply decreases, your portion of the circulating supply increases. But there's more. You're earning a certain amount today from this principal amount that you're holding at a certain volume, right? Well, as the circulating supply decreases, and it is decreasing every second of the day, then your rewards are going to increase based on the decreasing of the supply, because the tokens that are in, like the PTDC tokens that are burned, that are in LP, aren't receiving reflections. They all come to the other holders. So effectively, the longer you hold, the more you're going to earn in reflections and staking rewards. It's a genius system, guys. But the key is hodling your bag, just hanging on and just letting time and people and math and the contracts do all the work in your favor. There you go. How long do you think I'm happy at a penny? Yeah, many of us are going to be happy at a penny. I want more, though. I think we're going beyond. Dude, we are like 15x from a penny right now. Penny got back easy. How long do you think it's going to take for Pulse to hit the top? And do you think PTDC is going to be in the same pace as Pulse? I bet PTDC, and I have reason to believe this because we've got chart history in my own little charts that I've made, that if I'm not mistaken, I want to go there right now, but I'm going to refrain. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like PTDC kind of tops out after Pulse. you're going to have to fact check me. Maybe jump in, and once I get my slide deck fixed, we can look at that. But I'm pretty sure PTDC lags Pulse. So it's going to, if it does it again, and if I'm correct, I think PTDC will follow Pulse. And besides, here's the thing. People at the end of a cycle, what are people looking for? A place to store their value. And what's better than a place to store their value that pays them passively? PTDC. We are a store of value asset. PTDC and UFO both. It pays you passively. So yeah, I think that's how long do you think it's going to take for Pulse to hit the top? I think it's going to be last. I think PulseChain is going to be last to run in this cycle versus everything else. That's the way it's looking, man. I think we're going to run, I don't know, anytime between now and next April, May. I think that's anytime in there is when the majority of the running is going to happen. Banana is your favorite YouTuber. Always positive, factual, no drama, just the glorious PTDC alien tech facts. I appreciate that, man. Well said. Oh, okay, there we go. Make a plan. Crypto Tiger in the house. Hey, man, how you doing? Good to see you. Make a plan to hodl X amount of PTDC no matter what. Yes. You can take profit at whatever price you choose, but selling your entire bag is insane. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Crypto Tiger, on that one. Because you want some kind of passive going into the bear market, right? And these guys are gonna be like, I'm gonna sell my whole bag and then buy it cheaper during the bear. What if we don't have a deep correction like we normally do, a 99% correction? What if that doesn't happen? I am not taking that chance, guys. I am not. Well, let's run through some slides and we'll call it quits. We've already been 2 hours. Let's just do some real quick slides. Here is PTDC versus PTDC and UFO and their performance against Pulse. But then you've also got Hex in there, PulseX Inc., and their performance against Pulse. And that's a full year's worth of data, guys. A full year. We're going to keep it real simple. PTDC, UFO, performance in USD. And then Hex, PulseX Inc., performance in USD. With a full year's worth of data. What's this next one? Market cap performance. PTDC, UFO, Hex, EHEX, Pulse, Inc. Full year's worth of data. What am I trying to say here, guys? I'm trying to say that the Gray's currencies are blowing the doors off of the core assets, and they may continue to do so. I do believe that they're going to continue to do so. I'm trying to find a very special slide that before I show it, I always want to say, where do I think we are? Woo, I'm about to sneeze. You ever get those sneezes? I'm going to have to mute my mic. Hold on, guys. The worst thing happens when a sneeze goes away. That's like one of the worst things. It's a rug pull. It's a sneeze rug pull. So where are we on this? Where is PTDC and UFO at this point in the cycle? Well, we're well-built machines like a Lamborghini. Just got the oil changed. We got brand new tires. We got brakes that are ready to smoke. We've got the best gasoline in the tank, and the windshield's clean, and the interior's all clean. Well-oiled machines ready to run is what PTDC and UFO are. And we've also got another machine that's ready to go, which is PulseChain. And all the core assets, we're not dissing core assets, by the way. We love those cores. We love Richard Hart. We love PulseChain. Everything about the chain. And this chain is getting ready to run. And when it runs, based on the history that we've seen, PTDC and what they can do when there's any kind of little hiccup with Pulse, the Grays tend to really pick up the pace. But when PulseChain does its big move, this is what it could look like, boys and girls. That right there is what I anticipate it looking like when PulseChain runs. PTDC and UFO are going to smoke. They're going to be smoking hot. We're going to smoke them tires and get on up. And we're going to be doing 200 miles an hour before we even know it. And I hope you got at least got a jig bag. If you got any questions, guys, as long as you like this video and subscribe to my channel and follow me on X, you can PM me. PM me on X, Telegram. I'll answer any questions. Jump into the Telegram if you got other questions. Jump into this stream if you got other questions. We do it again on twice a week, Sunday and Wednesday. Zen, the founder, will be on Twitter tomorrow. Where's my little schedule? And that's Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific. You can talk to the founder yourself. Take advantage of that while you can. We will be doing a spaces on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific. The whole community jumps together and we all chat. And we're probably going to do a stream this coming Friday also. Zen and I will just talk about the grays. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been fun and it has been real fun. And I hope you all have a great day. Just PM me if you got any questions, guys. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.